Hello there today, and today we're going to talk about the fact as to who might be Manchester United's next target after, after the player of, Erling Haaland. We know that Manchester United has been targeting Erling Haaland, but who could be the next target instead of Mr. Erling Haaland? And the next target to Mr. Erling Haaland, with 20-year-old Dusan Vlahovic. So we know that from the time of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been very, eminent on signing Erling Haaland. Ole Gunnar had previously been running in to sign a Norwegian sensation from RB Salzburg, but he opted for a move to Germany instead. Instead of coming to United, the player opted to have a move to Germany. So we know that that was the case. So Vlahovic could be the next instead of that Erling Haaland. Another candidate has emerged now who could be potentially emerged as a contender for the United's next frontline leader, and that is Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic. The 21-year-old has attracted a lot of attention from Ralf Rangnick, to the point where basically now he's being considered as an alternative to Erling Haaland. Because let's face it, we do need an alternative. We do need players. For example, look at City. I mean, they've got so many players, and that's why they always do so well. Because Haaland, while Haaland is currently operating at such a level, every club wants him. So the Fiorentina striker Vlahovic would be less of a competition, more of a achievement. So this is where I really appreciate Raniak, because this guy, I think this guy has an eye for talent. He's finding all the best gems of players and bringing them to his targeting. He's smart. Because currently Real Madrid, City, Manchester City, PSG, everybody wants Haaland. And people would be more than happy to pay hundreds and millions for Haaland. So he would be an unlikely choice. Haaland would be a tough choice to get into. So with that being the case, I think it's far better that they target somebody who they can appoint here. But who would be a better fit under the Raniak regime as someone who could make an immediate impact into United? Haaland or Vlahovic? So here are some points we must consider. While looking back at at Raniak's system is implemented in the past, we have seen his potential to make star players. He only doesn't recruit star players, he makes them. That is something you must take into consideration. That has been his style all the time. He doesn't just recruit star players, he makes them. That's one of his specialized styles. Raniak is not expected to be United manager at the end of the season, and that's when they would most likely make their move for a striker. Raniak will still have a 2-year contract as a consultancy role, and he is expected to choose the next manager. And also he will have a strong saying in who the club shall sign. He will also lay down the very foundation of the club. So that's why he doesn't want to be the manager, because a board member, an executive always will have more power than a manager, because he can then appoint the manager. So that's something very important. Raniak's most common formation has been 4-2-2, 4-2-2-2, which he has used throughout his entire career, and Vlahovic fits great in it. And as we can see in Hoffenheim, his formation of 4-3-3 has also been very successful. You know, beat Haaland or Vlahovic, they will flourish under this system. And Vlahovic, is accustomed to playing in this style under Florentina. Under the board of Florentina, Vlahovic is accustomed to playing with this style. And in Syria, 4-3-3 would suit just well, and United would play great in 4-4-2 or 4-3-3.
Well, here it is again, and they go short.
And at Dortmund, Haaland plays a 4-2-3-1 under Marco Rose, but some of the long-term candidates for United job like Pochettino favored this system. This could be a consideration for Ragnick as well, because a lot of Manchester United managers have preferred 4-2-3-1, the system like this. They've preferred this system. So this could be also a good, and who do you think looks better here, Vlahovic or or Haaland? So a head-to-head record. The second thing we should see is a head-to-head record. Both Vlahovic and Haaland, they have a head-to-head record to be outstanding in 2021, and they both stand out. They both stand out. They're both good. Yeah. Sorry, Haaland has the most of the headlines due to his experience in UEFA Champions League. Vlahovic does not have that many of headlines due to his, non-Champions League experience. Haaland has stolen most of the headlines and goal-scoring run, but Vlahovic has been quietly banging in the goals and has only started to get noticed. So this is where Ragnick is a genius, because Vlahovic has only been started getting noticed, whereas Haaland is already in the headlines. So if everybody is running for Haaland, United can quietly get Vlahovic, who are currently just polishing their, forms.
Well, it's a difficult skill to get right, but
Haaland has scored 27 goals in 28 appearances in the Bundesliga last season, while Vlahovic has also netted 21 goals. So you see, he's not that far behind. So this is an issue that has been emerging for a long time. The difference between Haaland and Vlahovic, and who would be the better choice for Man United right now. So according to me, it's clearly, if I was to take, I would clearly take Vlahovic, because he's just started his style of play, and he would definitely be a better choice. He would be a better choice. He would be a better voice, and he would definitely make a more of an impact.
Well, I still can't believe that didn't go in, Derek.
Haaland has enjoyed a better goal per game ratio, but based on his season, it's much more balanced. It's much more balanced, and Vlahovic has netted 14 times in 16 games across all the competitions, while Haaland has scored 14 in 11. A very close call, emphasizing across all the competitions. That's very close. Haaland's form has been typical of his sensational rise at Dortmund, but this feels like a truly breakout season for Vlahovic, who has the potential to reach even higher goals with Florentina. So Haaland and Vlahovic, in the international platform, they would pretty much be the same. Haaland would be a little bit better. The Vlahovic would be an absolute monster, taking that into account. And in terms of who Ragnick would choose, there's not much difference between the two of them. The two of them are pretty much the same. Either would be a fantastic pick. But since Haaland is being, chased by all the big clubs right now, every big club is trying to chase him, trying to net a player like him. They're trying to get him. So taking that into account, I think Vlahovic would definitely be a better, a better choice to put forward the team. a better team, would be a better choice compared to Haaland.
But he was just offside. It was a good finish though.
And if we can see, it was Ragnick was the one who had basically, who had prized Haaland. Ragnick was the one who had identified the great talent in Haaland and wanted him in a very early stage, but he was unable to do so. Who prized Haaland from mold. He was the one who molded Haaland. He was the one who created Haaland. So there's this great connection. So a coach who creates a player like Haaland definitely would have, a great amount of, presence and a great amount of idea and skills. Very appreciable. Very, very appreciable,
Okay, but nothing comes of it. Well,
So that's very, very appreciable. Haaland has also experience in the Bundesliga. And the Ralf Rangnick, great connections with him, might think, Haaland is a better fit. On the other hand, Vlahovic will come at a much cheaper price, and it's more likely they will be able to get him actually. It's much more likely that they'll be able to get Vlahovic.
oh, he's gone for goal.
Even though he'll be more cheaper, and his clause is just 65 million pounds. While his 65 million release clause isn't cheap, it will be a fraction of the price of Haaland, trust me. In this deal, he hasn't had experience in the Champions League yet, but that means that Haaland, unlike Haaland, he's inexperienced, but he can be trained by the best. That is Ragnick. He can be trained by Ragnick, because Haaland had also been molded by Ragnick in Leipzig. When he was in RP Leipzig, he had been molded by Ralf Ragnick,
The pressure was high, and they could be in here.
So yeah.
Flag raised for offside.
It's a very close call, but I think Haaland edges this one. It is a close call, but I think Haaland is better than, Vlahovic in several cases.
Dangerous if he's not careful.
But there again, I think, even though Haaland is better than Vlahovic in several cases, I don't agree to the point that, that Haaland should be the only choice. Let's be honest, it's, trying to buy Haaland would most probably cost, around something, more than a few 200 millions maybe, or 100 million, 150 million, something like that.
Can he find the net?
So that would be a very difficult thing to do. I mean, Vlahovic isn't cheap, but, a lot of, we can buy him with less competition, a lot of, and way cheaper price than Haaland, and he can be molded,
But the keeper takes
he
command
can
of
be
the
built.
situation.
That's something, we have to take into account.
Pretty routine there
So
from the
yeah,
goalkeeper.
according to me, I think Vlahovic would be the better pick. Haaland would be the better choice, but Vlahovic would be the better pick
The final
in this
whistle has
regard.
sounded,
So
and
let me know what you
the
think
ownership
about
will
this.
go into the second
Till
leg
then,
with
take care.